Hello class, my name is Nidia Carrillo and this is my partner Luz Aguilar, and we're going to be presenting our teaching strategy number 41, which is the KWL and data charts.
Okay, first we're going to talk about the KWL chart, and these charts are three-section charts that help English learners to make the content more understandable and visible. The KWL charts let English learners explore what they know, what they want to know, and what they learn about a specific topic. There is another different kind of chart, KWL chart, which is called the KWL plus chart. And in this chart, there are two additional columns that follows columns K and L. And in those columns, the students cite their sources of the new information they found, and the students could be able to verify or reject information they have recorded in column K by evaluating their sources. Okay, this is a KWL chart sample. As you can see in the first column, what I know, it is the K section. And in this section, the teacher will brainstorm with a class and they will record what the students already know about the topic. This is when the teacher activates English learner prior knowledge. In that second column, which is the W section, students record any question they have about the topic. This is when the teacher can find out what interests to the students. And in the last column, which is the L section, students will record what they have learned after the topic had been taught. Okay, next we're going to talk about the data chart, which are graphic organizers that are used to organize data or information collected about a topic. These kind of charts are helpful for students because they can organize the information to be prepared for taking a test or for doing an oral or written report. The KWL plus chart or the basic KWL chart can be used with a data chart together in a lesson plan. For example, both charts can be used to involve students to write a term paper about any subject, such as, for example, science topics like earthquakes. And in this case, the KWL chart could be used to organize a report, and the data chart could be used as a guide to document the information to be able to write a term paper. The data chart and the KWL charts both are effective to use in class because they help students organize information before, during, and after a lesson. Also, they are very helpful to be used to engage students into a new topic, activate English learners' prior knowledge, and the teacher can use this kind of charts to monitor English learners' learning.
Okay, now we're going to be talking about the step-by-step. And the first step is to choose a topic. So for example, in our lesson plan activity, we're going to be talking about George Washington. And we're going to be relating this topic to US history. So it is also recommended to choose a topic that interests students. And also it is important to activate their background knowledge. For step 2, the teacher needs to prepare a blank KWL chart. So for example, in this case, we can do an outline of a KWL chart in front of the classroom, like for example, on the whiteboard, so that all students can see. For step 3, we introduce the KWL chart in a group lesson. So here, the teacher introduces a KWL by explaining like what each letter stands for. So, for example, the teacher can say like the K stands for what we know, the W is for what we want to know, and the L is for what we learned. So, as the students are telling the teacher things um, that they know, the teacher will write the responses in the K column, and then we will ask the students what they want to know and write them down on the W column. For example, in our lesson plan, we're going to be asking students to ask questions to George Washington, which would be kind of like an interview activity. For step 4, we provide students with books and resources to read about the topic. So right here, I think it's good to provide English learners with picture books about the topic and let them explore their research. We can also provide a copy of their own KWL chart so they can use it to write down information that they are finding. Right here, I think it's good because the English learner is practicing their reading and their writing skills. For step 5, we demonstrate how to add new information to the L column of the KWL chart and make corrections to the K column. So here, students are already finding answers to their questions in the W column of the chart, and they can write them down on their own KWL chart. Here, as the students are finding information, we should encourage them to write down their findings in the L column. And let's not forget to let the students know to share the source of information. For step 6, we introduce a data chart. So in this step, we can introduce a data chart by using the questions under the W column to the head columns on the data chart. So the answers can be noted under the questions and sources under the left column. In this step, English learners can practice their speaking skills by sharing information with their peers and also with the teacher. For step 7, we demonstrate how to use a data chart. So for the English learners, we can use the information on the data chart to model the writing of a report. We can show them how to create their own sentences by using the basic vocabulary of their research. For step 8, we use assessment to ensure effective instruction. So for assessment, we can use a picture book. So we know that the English learners are identifying the pictures and they can participate in the KWL chart activity. This way, if they are not understanding the text or content being taught, they can use pictures to let us know their understanding.
Okay, now we're going to talk about the application and example that the book provides to us. In this strategy, there are 2 examples. The first one is Miss Trivit's example, in which she has a kindergarten class, and the students learn about frogs. Mrs. Trivit provide to students a small container of frogs to encourage them doing this activity so students can actually see the frogs. In her teaching activity, Mrs. Trivit uses a basic KWL chart in where she starts by asking students what they already know about frogs and what they want to learn about frogs. So she can fill out columns K and W. As a source of information, Mrs. Trivit uses a book about frogs, and every morning her students and her read it and adds more information in the KWL chart. Also, to make the lesson plan more interesting, Mrs. Trivit creates a simple book with information her students gather from the books, and the children must complete this book by writing simple sentence and draw pictures to illustrate the sentence. By doing this activity, Mrs. Tribbitt's students would be able to use a combination of drawing and writing to compose informatives about a topic. That second example, it is Miss Chan's example. Her class is 8th grade, and the topic she uses in her lesson in her lesson plan is California environment. And the type of chart Ms. Chan used, it is the KWL plus chart and data chart. Students in Ms. Chan's students have learned about endangered species. Students who write about why these species are endangered and what they can do to stop this problem. And as a source of information, the students will be using a book called California's Wild Heritage. Okay, so in fact, these are the two examples that the book provides to us on how can we use the KWL chart and the data chart.
Okay, now for our conclusion. For English learners, the KWL charts and data charts help them organize information and important vocabulary terms. Also, English learners learn better by collaborating with their peers and sharing ideas. Both charts support English learners to organize new knowledge about their topic and allows them to successfully present their oral or written reports. And finally, it is helpful for English learners to interact with their peers and the teacher. That way, it gives them an opportunity for clarification and helps them maintain engaged in the activity. And that concludes our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.